Welcome to Chess2, my attempt to build the wildest, most chaotic chess website you'll ever see, turning whatever abominations anarchy chess dreamed up into a real, playable chess website. Basically chess if you took some hallucinogens. So far the board actually worked. You could theoretically match and play real games against anyone worldwide, but it was just normal chess on a 10x10 board. No UI, no weird pieces, no crazy rules. Boring. Today, that changes. For the better? Perchance? Right now the game page is just a board, so I started by adding UI, like a normal game. Revolutionary, I know. Player bars, a move history, sidebar, basic controls like resign and draw, and most importantly, chat, so 12-year-olds can call these laws. You know, I wanted the authentic CSGO experience. Now, to be clear, none of these actually work, yet. They're just visual, a placeholder for whatever it is that will come. But we will wire them up today. Maybe. Tryups. No idea if that's the word and I'm refusing to check. First off, player bars. These show off your beautiful username, profile picture, flag, rating, and clock. I also made the clocks flash red and shake violently when you're low on time, which in theory creates a sense of urgency, but in practice you panic, forget how to use the computer, and flag in a completely winning position. Not speaking for experience. Next up, the resign button. A feature steeped in centuries of chess tradition, a moment of quiet dignity, a ritual of surrender, executed with grace. So I treated it with the respect it deserves. I added a button that when you click it, you resign. That's it. It took me like 2 minutes. I don't even know why I mentioned it. It's not a knight. It's not a rook. It's a NOOK. Now, you might think it moves like a rook that can also jump like a knight, and you would be right. That's what I started with. But then I realized I created a little bit of a monster. A bit that can zoom across the board and leap over pieces as it wishes. After all, I didn't want to nuke the game with the NOOK. So I nerfed it. Now the NOOK moves like a rook, but can only capture like a knight. It can slide across the board no problem, but to actually take something, it has to jump in an L shape, like it needs to build up velocity first. This creates some interesting gameplay mechanics, and by interesting, I mean you can make yourself look like an absolute clown. You see a free pawn, jump in, and then realize your NOOK can only jump like a horse if it's a capture. Now you're stuck and you just traded a NOOK for a pawn. Let's all collectively agree to just not talk about what happened when I first tried to add the NOOK. Like, where even is it? What happened to the board? Why is the rook moving like a knight? Turns out I forgot to add this letter to the fan generator. The test would have caught it, but running your test is for nerd, which I am definitely not. I am very cool. Now that we have a NOOK, we can finally talk about the movie story. I don't know how the NOOK is related, but we're gonna talk about the movie story. Right now, it's just e4, e5 repeating, like some kind of opening chant. But I want to change that, which means I had to deal with Sun, aka the system that turns moves into crypted wizard symbols like knight f6, queen takes e5, or bishop e6 takes e4 mate. I'm pretty sure the last one is a summoning ritual. Sounds easy, computers love rules. Unfortunately, my brain doesn't. Let's say two knights can jump to the same square. You have to disambiguate which knight moves. If they're on the same file, show the rank, and if they're on the same rank, show the file. Simple. Except, for some reason, I just kept flipping it around and thinking if they're on the same rank, show the rank, which does literally nothing and makes zero sense. That's like saying, we need to tear them apart, so let's just say they're the same. Looking back, this is kind of thing that should have been obvious. Looking back, this makes me look a little dumb. Looking forward, I will do it again. And then there are pawns, which is yet another edge case. For some reason, you're not supposed to add the piece letter when a pawn moves, so like e4 instead of pe4. So then when it captures, you also have to display the file, otherwise, which one did it? Don't even get me started with captures, because chess2 allows you to capture multiple pieces at the same time in some positions. At first I thought I would just extend regular Sun, so if a rook captures a1, a2 and a3, it would be rook takes a1, takes a2, takes a3. but that doesn't really tell you where the piece ended up. So then I thought about putting the destination square in the start and putting capture in parentheses, like rook takes a2, a1, a3, but it's not really intuitive that these are captures. And also parentheses are sometimes used for promotions. I also didn't want to do rook takes a2, takes a1, takes a3, because in regular sum the final square is where it landed. After trying many weird solutions, I just went with this. Always put the destination square at the end. Like rook takes a1, takes a3, takes a2. This way you can clearly follow what path the piece took. Does it make sense? Kind of? Is it readable? Hell no. I originally didn't want to do this because it kinda violates regular sum, where for example n% doesn't show you which square was captured, but instead where the pawn landed. But I don't care, I literally don't care, chat, I literally don't care. You might be sitting there wondering, wait, you haven't done castling yet, that's not even a new rule. And you would be wrong that it's not a new rule. Well, it's not a new rule, but it also is a new rule. This is just 2 we're talking about. I couldn't just implement regular old castling, that would be a little bit too sane. Instead, I added a rule inspired by the infamous Anarchy Chess Reddit post where they made ChatGPT play against Stockfish, and ChatGPT just casually captured its own bishop while castling kingside. So here, you can do that too. If your king and rook haven't moved, and there is a bishop within path, your bishop, you can just eat it. Any other piece, illegal. But bishop, friendly fire is turned on. This also leads to fun notation, OO takes g1. Now you might think, why on earth would you do that? Like, why would you capture your own piece and just give your opponent an advantage? Anyways, implementing it went pretty smoothly. If you ignore the time the king could castle with itself, the time the king could castle with any piece for that matter, or the time I forgot to do boundary checks and created an infinite loop that crashed my computer. Other than that, flawless. So now we've got UI, we've got the KNOOK, we've got castling that may or may not sacrifice your bishop for no reason. Next time, we'll continue to implement more absurd pieces and rules, so subscribe if you don't want to miss out.